Welcome back to the Jimmy Dore Show. My name is James Lee, guest hosting for Jimmy today, and we have the amazing Kurt Metzger as well. And speaking of foreign influence, let's talk about this huge fallout on X as far as foreign influence because of this new feature that they've rolled out that allows you to see the various countries where people have registered their account. And there was one in particular that I think caught people's eye, right? There were a lot.
I'm joking.
There were a lot, which we'll get to, but one in particular that was sort of alarming when we saw that the official account of the Department of Homeland Security was registered in Israel on July of 2008 and connected via the Israeli App Store.
Okay.
Very interesting. Based in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, now, security is knee deep in Israel, isn't it?
So, I mean, a lot of people say this actually makes a lot of sense, right? Of course, it's based in Israel. Why not? Why wouldn't it be?
Our best friend that we can trust.
But, and some people are saying this is fake. So I just want to show people the screen recording that we have here to kind of prove
it's
that
fake. It's certainly far-fetched.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so you can see them clicking around on X, and it says it right there.
So that explains why there's so many of these new Homeland Security ICE shock troops that are from the IDF. Did you see that in Chicago? You know, they were recruiting people I previously thought with no military experience, just jerk offs with a $50,000 signing bonus. And that's what those horrible videos we showed them on Jimmy's show of them attempting to grab people off the street and the people getting away and they're wearing masks. So, but by the way, no cop should be allowed to wear masks. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
No, that is insane because then I could go and wear a mask and arrest people and say, "Oh, I'm detaining you for."
You can't dox an ICE agent in the street grabbing people. That's not a thing. A cop's supposed to have their name on their goddamn badge. So that's already dystopia territory. Now, I was afraid. I was like, oh, they're just highly unqualified people, and then they're trying to cover it up. And I'm sure some are illegal immigrants, but no, it's even better than that. A bunch of them are IDF people. So that'll really help the Beitar shit, right? If we want these people out of here.
But okay, so here's what Grok. Here's what. Hold on a second here. Okay, so Grok says that the video that we just saw shows the short-lived feature listing Homeland Security as based in Israel. X removed this feature hours later. We'll get to then they reinstated it again. But DHS is officially headquartered in Washington, D.C. with no confirmed operations basing it in Israel. The listing's cause and removal remain unconfirmed by officials. And this is what I think potentially happened here is that evidently the location actually changes based on where you're traveling to. So if you register in the US, but you're now in a country, it actually updates periodically. And some people pointed out that this might be bad because it could dock somebody who's traveling. But the official X spokesperson here, Nikita Beer, said that it's actually randomized and delayed to not make this possible. So this could be what happened to the DHS because, you know, one thing that we do know, before we get to that, it has since been scrubbed. So now all official accounts that are associated with the government, they are no longer showing this location feature for, you know, whatever reason, national security, whatever. But you'll see here that July 2008 was when this account was registered, Twitter at the time, as it was called. And who was the Secretary of Homeland Security in 2008? It was a guy named Michael Chertoff. He was serving under President George W. Bush between 2005 and 2009. A little bit before my time, but I'm sure people remember him. So back then,
everybody was saying we got to be more like Israel because these terrorists. The whole 9/11 time with George W. Bush. That's why everything is based in Tel Aviv, because that's when they're like, we got to run our airlines like the Tel Aviv, whatever their airline.
El Al, yes.
We got to be like El Al. And then they would have these things where the teachers are armed with rifles in the classroom, which is total bullshit. But this stuff got merged. Oh, the You know, the invention where you can take control of the plane from the ground in case terrorists take it over. That's his technology. That was patented well before 9/11. Unfortunately, that's not a good detail. But everything is extremely intertwined. All of our security.
Extremely, yes. Yeah. And that's by design, because it makes it so that we are essentially beholden to them. If we were ever, you know, wake up one day and say, no, we don't want to be a part of this anymore. We don't want to continue the same relationship. All of our security, technology, and whole infrastructure is basically one with the Israelis. So it's actually very difficult to even untangle that. And that's by design. I think that's the Israelis. Maybe you can give them their cunning ability to do that. And I guess smart of them to do.
Really opened it up, I would say, George, because if you think about Clinton, he didn't want to give Pollard back, and there was still some kind of semblance of we have a country that's not exactly.
Well, for Clinton, they tried to blackmail him with the Monica Lewinsky tapes. So that leads to obviously a theory is that was Monica placed in there by.
I say, of course she was. Of course she was. What else would that be?
I don't know. Well, that's what I've made that claim before. Some people think it's insane, but I say, hey, there's precedent.
Do they, or are they like trying to discredit the most obvious thing that any idiot could see if they look at a little bit of information? It's not. Oh, do you think DHS could have its shit headquartered in Tel Aviv? Oh, that's so crazy. That's like UFO crazy, dude.
Well, we're not saying that it was. I'm not even saying that it's headquartered in Tel Aviv. I can definitely understand. Like this whole thing was probably Chertoff probably went over there. It's like, oh, we're gonna set up this new Department of Homeland Security, whatever it is, and then so we're gonna set up our Twitter. He's over there on some trip in Israel, getting all this shit, and he's like, all right, let's set up that Twitter account now. He's over there. Just to look up. So anyways, I was digging into his past a little bit. Very interesting that he was born to a Gershon Baruch Chertoff, a rabbi and Talmudic scholar who is the leader of the congregation of B'nai Israel in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And his mother was a Polish-born Israeli-American who was the first flight attendant for El Al. You just mentioned.
So there's spies.
Paternal grandparents are Paul Chertoff, a rabbi and professor of Talmud, and Esther Barish Chertoff. So interesting familial connections.
The Bush doctrine is the Wolfowitz doctrine, aka the neocon doctrine. As who's that whiny guy? He's like, it's anti-Semitic to say neocon. I'm forgetting his dumb name, but dude, that's when that all merged together. All that creepy ass Christian Zionist thing like really metastasized around 9/11 time, if you notice. Well, I remember it doing that.
Yeah, so now they're just saying that this is straight up. They're calling the post that because I made a post that kind of took off about this, and they're like, oh no, this is massive misinformation. Of course, it's not based in Israel. The Department of Homeland Security came out and denied it. And I'm like, of course they would deny. It's like, you're going to trust that?
Case closed, I guess. I thought the Epstein thing, there was more to it too, but I guess the trail went cold. Huh?
It's all the 7K per post accounts. All of them are like, oh my God, you guys are insane.
Yeah, the 7K club, and you could tell who's. I don't believe that. You could tell who's in it because people that were formerly like UFO accounts now are just talking about how Tucker's bad. That's not suspicious, right?
Well, you can see, and some of these accounts. So you could see through this. It's not just this whole Israel thing, but now you could see the kind of, I guess you could say, infiltration from foreign countries now officially.
There he is. There, that little fetal alcohol syndrome head, Ian Miles Jong. That screwhead in Malaysia, so he would get exposed by that new policy. That's great. America first is in Bangladesh.
And then you got Ultra MAGA Trump 2028 from Nigeria.
Nice.
And this other one, what is this? MAGA Scope, also based in Nigeria. So you can see, I mean, this is because Twitter or X is sort of where the quote unquote elite discourse happens, where people like battle it out in the so-called public square. But now you see the people going to battle are literally from other countries that have nothing to do with the United States, injecting discourse and propaganda and all kinds of garbage.
Sucking up to like that. Ian Miles Strong is famous for sucking up to Elon on Twitter to like, worm his way in. But yeah, they're all fake. Everybody's like, oh, is this a psyop? The whole thing, assholes, is a psyop. Everything.
The whole thing is fake. Now we understand that the whole thing is fake.
And movies and all the things. art, all of them. There's not almost nothing organic around you at all. I don't know if people get it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But as soon as you put it together, the better Marjorie Taylor Greene can get back in the fight.
Yeah. And if I were to ever ask Elon a question, I'd be like, what happened to the thing where you're talking about getting rid of bots and all this shit? Like, none of that happened. Probably because if you get rid of bots, there's probably like 14 users on Twitter. You can't get rid of the bots because that's what's driving up all the engagement, right? He can't post that, oh, wow, look at X. Right. It's like the most popular app in terms of.
Same thing with why Roblox can't root out all the PDF files because it makes their numbers inflated for their stock price and their investors. So if they clean it up, it's done. The children's thing that just lousy with the worst kind of like predators. They can't. And people have independently tried to clean it up and made apps to block them, and they ruthlessly suppress it because it will ruin their numbers. They all have the same scam. They've got to inflate what they're doing for private equity, and there's like one scam in the world.
The numbers. I used to work at this company. This is like when I was like 22, 23 years old. I was working in a call center for this company called Nature Box. And it was like one of those, at the time, it was like a subscription box server. That was like everything could be a subscription box during that age. And they were like, okay, we're about to go into our, whatever it was, Series C funding. So we're going to like give away free boxes and we're going to count them as subscribers. And so we can inflate our numbers. So they sign up for the service. They have to put their credit card in, but the first box is free. And then I was like, yo, when it rebills them the second month, are they going to be like pissed off that you kind of scanned them? Like, yeah, don't worry about that. Because then I have to deal with it. I have to deal with angry customers all day saying, I didn't sign up for this. And they're like,
that's the whole business. The whole business was that out of the gate. The whole business was doing that.
The whole business was like trying to get people to forget about the fact that they had a subscription. Yeah. And so there would be days where like, oh, we got to get the subscriber count up. So we're going to remove the cancellation option from the website and force them to call in. It was hilarious. It was like, and they would call in like, hey, this feature was literally there yesterday. It was on my account yesterday.
Yeah, went in today, crazy. Yeah.
Not there anymore. I'm like, sorry. Yeah. They didn't want us. I don't know. I was one of those people. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. This whole thing sucks. I'm just going to refund you.
So we need AI, James. We need AI to replace you and your little.
Oh no! Literally by the end, so I quit, but literally as I was quitting, they were outsourcing the entire team to the Philippines, and I think now, well, I don't think the company exists anymore, but I think then they went to like some kind of like AI like chatbot thing.
Yeah. Who can you complain to? You can go fuck yourselves. So
I don't think this feature. I mean, do you think this feature is going to stay? I think this is not going to work. They're
much like every other feature. Once it interferes with somebody important enough, it will go away suddenly. Right? That's how everything works.
Or they just block them, because I think, speaking of Pastor McCoy, I went to check out his where he's based. Not even there. He's exempt from this for some reason.
Oh my, yes. Have you heard his amazing sermons that Ian Carroll was playing that they suddenly took down?
I mean, I've heard little snippets here and there. I wouldn't want to. I mean, he's like the real life. Somebody said the real life Eli Gemstone. That was my co-host.
Oh, well, that's all based on American psyop Zionist Christianity. That comes from. Anyway, we should go do the next.
Anyways, all right. So yes, let us know what you think about this.
Come see me on tour in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Waikiki, Hawaii, and the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.